All right. All right. This is Crockett 36, and here we are. We are going to review a game, and it's going to be a fantastic review. This is the semifinals for the out of box for
Balance
accessanalyze.org
mod. Balance mod.
and the balance mod. I'm sorry. Semifinals balance mod 2024 between Gamerman01 and Adam514 on accessanalyze.org, which I believe I have referenced down here. See if it pops. It is not going to pop. Let's see here. Accessanalyze.org. There we go. And actually, the way I found the game was I actually looked it up on Google, of all places, and was able to get your game.
Huh.
Let's see. There it is, accessanalyze.org. And there it is. It came up. Lowe's. All right. So there you go. This is the one right here, right? With a
Yeah.
22 bid for the Allies.
We've
All
never
right.
played each other before, so that is it.
All right. Great. Okay, I'm going to shut that down. And let's just close that out. Uh, yeah. So let's talk about your bid going into this game
Sure.
against this
Hmm.
tremendously talented player. The bid was let's see, one mech and three subs for the British. Okay, so let's look at those. 109 a sub, 91 a sub, and 98 gets a sub. And then one mech is placed in Egypt. Um, in addition to that, there was oh, that's it. That's the 22. Okay. So do you want to say anything about those?
Yes. First of all, the 22. Um, Adam must, well, I don't know why he granted me 22. Last couple of years, I'm kind of helpless with the Axis, so I kind of got to have my allies. And
Okay.
so he let me have them at 22, which I was happy about.
Sure.
The mech in Egypt definitely have Ethiopia in mind. Because and the mech, because once you take Ethiopia, you can get back to Egypt in a single move.
Okay.
The sub to 109 is very uh, unconventional. I want to save my destroyer and transport in 106 off Canada. Most players will put a sub there to make the Germans bring more, and they could always submerge that sub, or they
Sure.
might fight for it. But I went 109 because it's possible he loses in 106, and then my sub from 109 is able to get into the Mediterranean right away.
Okay.
It's in a better position than 106. So if he wins in 106, I can use that sub to go hunt his subs down.
Nice. Good.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I love. Uh, I'm. I attack 97. Italians 97. Pretty much every time, no matter what. So I got to have my sub in 98
Okay.
and sub in 91 because I can't stand that cruiser to be lost to one or two subs.
Okay. And are you thinking, initially going into this game, you know, a lot of times there's a couple of things you can do. You can run away with this 111 fleet, try to get up to either Iceland or 118. You can obviously you're going to do 97, so you're hoping for a good fleet left here, but that's going to draw the Germans obviously onto you. Oh, there he is. All right. And we're about to meet Adam and see for
Huh.
the first time.
Big deal.
I know. Ta-da. Adam, can you hear us? Connecting to audio.
Yeah, with both of us here, it'd be great if you lean towards drawing out what we were both thinking and why we did things.
Excellent. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. London to Adam. Are you there?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
greetings.
Good
hi,
deal.
Adam. How are you?
Good.
So thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. And can you tell us just a little bit about yourself, and maybe even your sort of credentials, I suppose, especially in regards to balance mod and accessanalyze.org.
Sure, sure. So it sort of turned out that I'm the youngest of a couple siblings, and when I grew up, we actually had the game, the original Access Styles game. So in the early 2000s, well, we played it. I mean, I'm sure we didn't play with anywhere close to the correct rules. Like we played with aircraft that could take territories, and
Wow.
as long as you could reach the territory, you could bomb, and then the bomber would just magically go back to where it started. So that's some of the odd rules we played with.
Sure.
Then I stumbled upon AAA, and when I was about 17, and I played many hours and many live games on the AAA lobby.
Okay.
Um, that lasted for like 3 or 4 years. Then I played a lot with Axis Dominion. He's a
Yes.
he's a player who played a lot with on the league, and we used to play a ton of live lobbies. And then he eventually convinced me to join the league. Initially, I was reticent because I didn't want my games to take 3 weeks.
Okay.
So oftentimes it takes a lot longer than 3 weeks for the typical game on league. But it turned out to be a great experience, and you could play many games at the same time. So
Good.
that's about it.
And
Yeah. For
can I ask your age?
I am 28.
Wow. Okay. 28. All right. Well, um, thank you again for coming. So you're going into balance mod. When were you how old were you when you were developing balance mod?
Yeah, it was in 2014 that I think we finished the first iteration of it. I
2014. Okay.
was 18, 18 or 19. Yeah.
Excellent. Nice. And your skills seem to be in the computer department?
Uh, tangentially, like I'm a aerospace engineer, so
Oh, okay.
I have some computer skills. But
All right. So one of my predictions that engineers and accountants
Mhm.
are make for good Access and Allies players. So there you go. Okay. So well, we appreciate your work in developing the AAA software as well as the balance. No,
The AAA
just
software, no, that's not
no,
me
no,
at all. It's
that's not
just
you.
the
Just the
balance
balance
mod
mod.
and yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, well, thank you for doing that. And we were just reviewing the bid placement. I'm understanding that you like to play the Axis a little bit more than you like to play the Allies.
Not quite. I actually prefer playing the allies, but
Oh, okay.
no one gives the bid that is required for me to play allies in a
And
playoff.
may I ask what would be the bid?
Since I guess this year's playoffs or the bid info is doesn't matter enough for this
Underway?
year's playoff.
Yeah,
With a 27 at least.
27 at least. Okay. All right. So even with this 22, which Gamerman was thankful for, you're looking for
Yeah.
27 more. Um, you I when I play test with Larry, and I always try to put him to it a little bit, forcefully make my view known. If you were to change the setup at all to make it so that 27 was not needed, is there any simple fix here that would make the 27 nearer to zero?
Yeah. Some simple setups maybe, but there was a possibility of making Italy go before UK, for example, to block the can opening in Russia and elsewhere. Of course, that's a major force multiplier for the Euro axis. So
Sure.
that change could potentially get the bid significantly down.
Okay.
In terms of unit placement, I'd have to look. I'm not sure. Can't
Sure. How
give an
about
answer.
the political rules being changed or ratcheted down by one, for instance, Russia coming in one early, America coming in one early. Would that affect the bid at all, do you think?
Not much.
Okay, not
Um,
much. Okay.
I do
All
like the
right.
flexibility that global 1940 allows with the politics and delayed entry into war. I think that's a nice mechanic. So I wouldn't
Okay.
want to reduce the flexibility there.
Excellent. Okay. Well, let's get into it. It's Germany turn one, and I'm going to focus on the buys and the purchases. If there's any combats that you want to highlight, for instance, that went sort of, we're looking for as we look at this. I'm an observer, and I'm trying to notice the things that are odd or I don't quite understand. And I'm also looking for any time in which I might think to myself, well, the luck is really playing a factor in this game. So those, just to let you guys know where I'm coming from, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so your 6L artillery and 2 infantry, they're going to tell me that you are serious about Moscow, and that you're going to take your time. You're not worried about, bum rushing Moscow. You're going to take your time and get to where you got to go. Political action, I'm sure, is war with. Um,
It's war with
sorry.
China.
War with China. Okay, just getting that out of the way. Okay, so you're going to do some pretty standard stuff, I think. Battle for France looks normal to me. No fighters. Battle for 106, pretty normal. 110. Okay, so you're going to go for the full spread. Six is uh, six is definitely out. Yeah, right. This is a tighter one. Did you scramble for this one, Ted?
Oh, yeah.
I was
That made
thinking,
it, that was dangerous.
yeah, I thought so. 3, 6, 8. This also is a little on the thin side here. Let's see, and then Yugoslavia, you got the planes in there. Okay, you're feeling pretty good about all this, and I'm assuming it goes well. Let's take a look at the non-com.
Mhm.
It goes well for him. He wins. It's scratched there with the loss of um, the subs, I'm assuming, and the battleship.
And
So
one plane.
full scramble. Let me just take a look at 110. So let's go through that. Oh, sorry. I'm going to widen the left side, and I'm going to go down through. Here are the dice. Whoa! Those are some nice dice right there. That'll do. All right, and then rolling back gets 3 hits in return with the loss of 1 sub and 1 battleship. So, yep, that was good. That was good. I'm prefer the allies myself. I call this allied headquarters. So I'm going to look at the placement and then we're going to review the entire board. Um, so here's your placements.
Oh, you skipped France.
Yep, yep. Was there anything
Yes,
significant? Okay,
yes.
let's look at France. Okay. I'm going to widen this out. Okay. Okay, here we go. France. Okay, so that is pretty unlucky for Germany, actually. Way low. Pretty lucky for France. Okay, so a little nervous there. He's actually lost more Germans than the French lost. Still unlucky in the second rounds, and still very lucky.
Have to be
And
sweating
you are
there.
now in a deficit. Okay. Wow. Okay, there you go, finishing the battle. But oh, wow.
I didn't
Okay.
roll them. Adam rolled the dice. He clicked it. I didn't do that.
Right. Wow. Okay. I just had a battle for France, and in that battle for France, the German had 3 infantry and everything left.
Mm.
So you can imagine that I was not real happy. Um, okay, so let's take a look. You did not choose to take Normandy Bordeaux, which you guys were playing with the Vichy rules or not?
Yes.
You were. Okay, so I think that means Vichy's not into effect because you didn't take Normandy. Is that correct? I,
The Italians can always take it, and then the same thing would happen.
oh, okay.
But here, I already have my plan laid out, and Vici is not part of it for reasons I can explain later when we get to it.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's go down to the purchase and turn complete, and then I'll scan over the Germans, and you can highlight anything you want to, Adam.
Yep.
$68, pretty normal. So you have your the Atlantic is fairly clean of oh no. Okay, we have two convoying subs here. Love that, or hate that, I should say. No purchase of a navy. You're not in 112. Uh, Pretty standard
I
grouping in
shipped
Slovakia.
two infantry from Norway to Germany, so that's why there's 4 and 6 instead of 2 and 6 that I purchased.
Ah, okay. All right. Very good.
Adam, can you
And
see
you
me?
did
So
take,
can I could I do
yeah, go
it? Can
ahead.
I know whether my facial expressions are coming across to you?
To me, yes, they are.
You can see me good. Okay, good to know.
So you did take Yugoslavia and you took an infantry into Bulgaria, sort of the slow way home. And that looks fairly standard. Now, this is all pretty recognizable from out of box, which I will continually refer to.
Yes.
Although right now, um, things like Cyprus, Crete, Sicily, Sardinia actually have an effect on the battle, on the national objectives, and that'll come
Yes.
in later, I would assume. Okay. Any comments before we move on to Russia?
I'll go first.
Sure.
So a lot of drama there with the dice.
Yes.
110, 111, and France. Uh, if France would have went well for Adam, it's resign time. Um, but the other thing I would say is I would rather have a few planes down in 110 and 111 and a normal France than this. But still, very lucky for me there in France. Very lucky.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
I prefer having planes surviving than and losing more land units than the opposite.
So, so the scramble option, although like I said, he was certainly in the margins for a scramble. For instance, 111, I thought was begging for a scramble. And the getting obviously even with scrambling, you're one behind, I think. And here, even with the scramble, you're one behind plus a hit point. Um, but you know, so yes, I agree. And I also respect your. I was saying to my friend when I got those bad rolls that sometimes Axis players will say, "Let's restart the game" if they fail to take France, and that's legit also for the Allies to say, "Hey, look, that was just too bad of a luck to recover from." So, all right,
Yeah,
let's keep. Yeah,
cheating units away from France is a pretty good topic. But quickly, I think Axis Dominion clued me in that maybe Adam had a bad experience before trying to get Normandy and Paris. You can tell me, but you really want all the ground to go into Paris so that you
I
don't
think
get
so.
destroyed.
Yeah,
In a live game, I've sent all land to France and still lost it. So it happens.
it does.
So, and if two or three units would have been broken away in Normandy
Mhm.
here, we all know what might have happened.
Yeah, it
Sure.
might have been a 50-50 with this dice.
Yep. All right. The Russians buy seven artillery and three infantry. Uh, so no, I think I'm just going to say that normally speaking, you see most people purchasing all infantry, 12 infantry. So, in one aspect or one meta of the game, you are 2 units behind. You're still feeling now on the other side of the game. Are you still feeling good about the seven artilleries and three infantry purchase, Ted?
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've learned that having a good offense actually is a defensive move.
Okay.
You can keep the Germans from advancing as easily.
Game right now where I'm holding Bryansk for one
Oh, and you
extra
know what?
turn.
You
Yep.
know what, Randy? This is the balance mod's a lot different here.
Oh, okay.
Russia's gonna get more money. This is you can't just rush Moscow and take it, and that's a big great point with balance mod. So you don't need to buy all infantry and hole up in Moscow.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, thank you for the correction. All right. So
And also
just I'm
France,
gonna go down to the yep.
France didn't go well for Germany. So like I
Right.
have four less mechs that can go towards the right. So yeah, you
Oh,
have a
very
good
good.
chance of dead zoning with an offensive purchase here.
Mhm.
Excellent.
And
Okay.
yeah, that's awesome point. I would throw in too that Yugo didn't go very well. Three infantry lost is a pretty big deal.
Okay. Good. Good. All right. So your end position is six artillery right on the line, um, and significant forces about to, unless he does a G2, that will be aiming all at Eastern Poland in one turn. So, and I'm just going to check out your disposition of forces here. Okay, it's a retreat of 6 units to Yakut, and 12 and 2 over here. And I'm assuming your sub went to 125. Okay, 111. All right. A lot of people would move the cruiser into 114 or even into 112. Any reason you're keeping?
Yeah,
Oh, you got the
I
scrambling
go
fighters.
I go
Gotcha.
two fighters and tack to Leningrad.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Good. All right, let's go to Japan with the purchase of one Marine and three transports. Um, so the Marines, I know a lot of people here are out of box players. Marines cost five apiece. They attack at one normally, but in amphibious landings, they attack at a two, and they also can board battleships and cruisers as
Yes.
well as transports. Now, the obvious question here, um, as the creator of the game, is there a reason you didn't let them go on to destroyers? Thinking of the
Mm,
Tokyo Express
yeah.
in the Guadalcanal campaign.
Yeah, there's I guess there's historical precedence for that, but the main reason why we
Mhm.
couldn't afford to do that is because the shores would become way too valuable. In some fleets, eventually in the game, you end up with 5 to 10 destroyers in the fleet. Being able to ship that many units along with destroyers would make them way too valuable.
Yep.
Part of the reason why Marines are widely regarded as a good unit here is because they give some importance to otherwise unused units like battleships and cruisers.
Sure. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Now political action. I'm assuming you do go to war with the Allies. This is a J1. Okay. Um, okay. So um, I'm going to just let the clicker take me away. If there's any significant battles or luck that happen, let me know. But Borneo obviously is going to pretty quickly flip. And then as the Philippines battle takes place, you take over. Doesn't look like you had a problem. Hunan falls, but you failed to take it. Quang Si is captured. Um, and then Nan comes. And you reposition yourself. And I'm going to go down here. You're collecting. Okay, so here is maybe our first difference. I'm going to pull this out. So collecting $40 is not entirely unusual, but this meets a Japanese homeland national for $3.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
okay, so that's just for owning Japan, I think, right? That's just a money
No,
gift, right?
it's Iwo Jima and Okinawa. Japan is not
Iwo
included
Jima.
because
Okay,
if
Oh,
the
yeah.
Allies own Japan, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
gotcha. Okay, all right.
Mhm.
So four in Manchuria. He moved them from Korea. Jehol. He moved them from Manchuria. One infantry to Shahar. Grouped them in Anhui. and then some naked fighters in Quang Sea. Obviously, all the current transports that were on the board went down to the Philippines, and I'm assuming you attacked. That's a battleship. Okay. And then did you post? You did not post a blocker because you were going to leave some ships and 3 scrambling fighters behind. Okay, so
Yeah, I try to avoid blockers as much as possible.
Mhm.
yes, I understand. They are inevitably a waste. But you are protecting your transports. I see that 2 transports in the Philippines guarded by a fleet, and Borneo guarded by a fleet. Okay. So, it's the small things that separate a great player from a good player from a poor player, or just I shouldn't say poor, I should say average. And I respect anybody who takes on the game of X and Allies
Mm.
because it is not a normal game that you. So
Requires
I
patience.
yes, and it requires the minimum bar is fairly high. So, um, but if you want to become great, you got to notice these differences. And we're talking about a lot of times Axis and Allies players will gather in 36 or they'll gather in 35, but you are not giving up any transports. You got a blocker here. And well, this blocker is actually the
It's leftovers from the
cruiser was
battle.
protecting the 2 bombers because you were trying to take out that battleship. So Jay, one, you feel really good about this in retrospect, I'm assuming,
Who?
Adam.
I had a couple extra ground lost, but then I also didn't lose anything in season 37, the Malaya season. So it's a good J1.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
I'd like to comment on that. I
Sure.
think it's a big deal. Um, I think you did lose a plane in 37, actually, from what I
I did.
saw here. And so while it's
Uh,
good to be able to achieve all objectives, which he did. Adam took dings
Yep.
everywhere. He lost a lot of men. He's being very gracious. And this comes into play quickly. I mean, for once in my life, I had to scout him out a little bit. I never scout out my opponents, but he's
Oh,
got the J1, J2, J3 down to a science. He's got a formula so good that you can know it's coming and can't stop it. And I'll just say that those infantry losses come up big pretty soon.
okay. All right. Good. I'm noticing infantry loss, obviously in Kwang Tung, a fighter loss here. Um, 2 infantry, I think, looks like lost in Philippines, and then significant losses in Yunnan, 3, 3 infantry. Okay, good. Thank you, Ted.
Sure. And
Um,
on that, a little bit more on the Philippines, there's
yes,
2 transports there. So 2 infantry lost is a big loss.
sure. Good. Okay. So let's go to the big US turn. You're going to buy a carrier, a fighter, 2 submarines, 2 transports. Okay, so I think that's very translatable to the out of box game. The 2 transports seems a little early for me. You've already got 3 transports on the board. Uh, I get again. I'm going to ask you again and again. You still feel good at the end of the game uh, with the 2 transports, or did you think you needed a little more oomph out in the Pacific later on?
I'm looking where I placed him.
Yep. Okay.
Definitely needed one in the Atlantic. You only have one to send out at the beginning. I did. Most players would go snag Brazil. You get infantry, you get money, but you have no threat on Europe. So I went straight for Algeria. Want another transport to take Brazil or to go to 91.
Sure.
And in the Pacific, start the shuck.
Shuck,
Start
shuck.
getting units out there into the Pacific.
Sure. All right. And they,
one one thing in
yeah, go
balance
ahead.
mod is you get the US have an extra national objective for
Mm.
the control of North Africa. the three
Oh.
original French ones. So if they have a line unit there, they get an extra 5. So it's not
Oh,
really
yeah,
a loss to not get Brazil.
that's right.
Oh, so right now
Yep,
he gets
They,
5.
they get an extra
yep,
5 because they sent the transfer to Morocco. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Excellent.
yeah. Didn't
Torch.
even notice that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, Adam, that there's more national objectives in the Pacific for America, which there is,
But
and
there's more in,
so
in Europe as well. It's about the same.
yes, yes. So transports are helpful on either coast, and you're right, Randy. That would look a little odd from an out of the box perspective.
Good. All right. Let's go on to China. Any big combat in China? No, just taking it back, but very carefully. And I'm assuming you win. Yes, you do. And then the placements. Okay, so looks good. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. This looks like a strong China move for turn 2. You got to be pretty happy about that, I think. Yeah. And then moving on to the UK. All right, so two fighters, 1 infantry, and 1 mech, and then 5 infantry for UK Pacific. I don't think there's really any other purchase in in India. You just need all the men you can get with this very effective Japanese turn. Um, two fighters. Let's see where you put those. I'm going to go down to okay. It looks like there's some. Okay, so we have some national objectives here. Uh, looking at UK Pacific collects 14, ends with 16. UK Pacific, no enemy submarines. National objective for $3 ends with 19. And then up here in the turn complete, you are ending with $39. Turn 1.
I had to destroy both subs in 106, though.
All right.
If that fails, you don't get 3.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at that. So you brought everything from 109 to here, and you got 3 extra because of it. So, as hard of a turn as it was, the Atlantic is clear, which is, I mean, as an allied player, is fantastic. Um, let's take a look at 97. You won, but that looked like a tough battle.
Adam scrambled, which surprised me.
Okay.
But yeah, it went kind of as expected, I think.
This one was rolled on the forum, so you won't have the real.
Oh,
well, I
yeah.
think you have the same outcome, but
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, rolled on form. Okay. So it looks like a tough battle, and yet you pull it out, but the difference is the sub, right? You did have a leftover fighter, lost the bomber.
I think you only had the sub remaining. The
Okay.
fighter is from the attack on the destroyer.
Attack on the destroyer,
Wow.
which also suffered some bad luck, looks like. I'm assuming you had more than one unit attacking the destroyer.
Definitely. Yep. So the cruiser
Okay.
died in 96.
Gotcha. Okay. So tough battles all around. You guys are taking a lot of losses. So a lot of attrition here in this game. So let's look at your configuration of Africa. So you're feeling pretty good. He's only got 1 transport left. He did scramble, so he's lost the planes as well. He does have a bomber, but Egypt looks fairly safe. You did do some effective sweeping in the Horn, and you've got your 2 planes in South Africa with your mech. Okay, so some long-term thinking there and long-term investment in Africa. You do not put your troops on the front line in Burma, and you hold. Well, you retreat to Shan State. All right. There's no battle. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, here we go. Java. You take Java and you place all three planes there.
Yes,
Okay,
this
so
was a big,
tell me about
yes,
this. I haven't seen this very often.
sure. So Adam has, even with the loss of those infantry, he's still got tremendous pressure on India. Most people are running away by round four. I love to get Anzac planes coming at Italy as fast as possible. Get them to India. Maybe they can help India or Russia as needed. But to do that with his force, I have to take pretty much everything to Java, even those three planes. Also, I picked up two men from Malaya, so they weren't going to make it back to India anyway.
Two men from Malaya?
Yep.
Is that a setup difference?
No,
Okay.
there were
All right.
there were three. The other one walked to Shan State.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Um, Adam, can you tell me what you're thinking when you see this? Or is
Yep,
this something you've experienced before and
I
you're
have.
totally used to?
It's been done a couple times before against me, and I don't bite. I don't go for it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to Italy. Everyone knows that Italy, although a small player in the game, can be a huge, huge factor. So you buy a Marine, second Marine of the game, and the only player to buy a Marine and a mech. Um, and let's go down to I'm just gonna open up the combat. You've got several combats, 97, as well as Greece, um, as well as Alexandria and Tunisia and southern France. And I'm assuming all those went well. Yes, they did. Some losses in Greece, but still taking it. And then let's see the position of the. Okay, there are no can openers currently, at least not yet. I'm assuming that also indicates you're probably not going to East Poland next turn. Um, Alexandria looks fit, strong. Not many reinforcements here. So the tank is occupied with British Somaliland anyways, so it's going to be a little bit before the Allies can get some help there. The two planes will make it though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, Making some money. What do we got for income? Uh, is there any advantages here? No, no, nothing oddly ordinary. I'm not seeing for advantages yet for the Italians. Um, if anybody wants to comment, let me
Yep.
know. Go ahead.
So Italy, on Italy's turn, you still have the potential to go for Normandy and activate Vichy, but with the J1 Dow, with bringing the U.S. in early, it's a net malice for the Axis to activate Vichy at that point, because then the U.S. have and England have extra territories they can take over for extra income later on in the game. So I don't do Vichy on a J1
Okay.
Dow.
All right. Excellent. Okay, let's go to Anzac. Anzac, infantry and a transport. Okay, so again with the transports, um, uh, like I said, I just usually buy sharp. What I like to say is sharp things at the beginning to try to catch up with the Pacific, and the transports are effective, but also not sharp. So you're going to collect 3 for Pacific supply lines and meeting an objective for an additional $3 for $16. Let's go take a look at where Anzac is at the end of your turn. So we've got the cruiser. Is the cruiser still in New Zealand? Um, and then the destroyer and the transport. The anti-aircraft, 3 fighters. Java is looking big. You guys probably know that in 42 Steam, you can actually build factories on islands, and that's quite a popular opening move. So,
Hmm.
all
As
right.
Japan?
No, as the Americans, I'm Japan. I've seen Japan, the Japanese player do it as well, against me.
Oh,
So
okay.
moving the infantry up to Shan States and keeping the 2 in Egypt. Feeling pretty good about this Anzac move in retrospect, Ted?
Oh yeah, especially the move to Java. If I didn't do that, I was just hanging on for dear life the whole game. That was absolutely necessary to keep India. I actually kept India for a very long time. Probably because Adam let me, but and as well as the two fighters that are in South Africa were direly needed to hold Egypt.
Excellent. Okay. And just posting up, we see the French move up to 81, move down to, okay, Nigeria, and then bunch up in Morocco for the siege, and then also collect their navy. Okay. And you lost the French fighter to the scramble. Okay, it's Germany too. Um, I think probably it sounds like you're both feeling pretty good about your first turn, except for the attrition. But let's go to Germany too. And what does Germany buy? One destroyer. Okay, there is an investment in the Navy here. Oh, and a sub. 9 mech, 2 infantry. Okay, so deciding to reinvest in the Atlantic. We got a battle in Normandy, and that is it. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the placement, and we'll take a look at the German income as well as disposition of troops. Um, $51 at the end of this. It looks like everything normal. So let's take a look at where Germany is on turn 2. Okay, so still some Air Force in Rome and 25. Okay, we're massed on the border and we're ready to go in. 25 infantry and 14 in Germany to go in. All right, and this is looking strong. Oh, fleet is in 112 and three scrambling aircraft. Feeling pretty good right now, Adam?
I liked that I didn't lose a tank in Normandy. That would have hurt.
Yes.
Apart from that, standard setup to go against Russia while
Excellent.
defending 112.
All right. Especially with the allies already in the war with the fleet. Although, yep, you did get the Italian bonus, I assume.
No,
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 they were
no,
French.
no.
They were French.
French fleet. That's right. Okay. All right. 4 more artillery. Okay, here we go. Combat moves. I'm assuming none. Turn complete. Let's see where the Russians are. Okay, love convoying. I got the Normandy. He wins Normandy, but he he gets convoyed, or will get convoyed if he doesn't take care of it. So that's a sweet thing as from the Allied perspective. Sorry, Adam, I'm rooting for the Allies all the time, even though already know the outcome of this. Okay, so we have a strong. He's still going to hold on to Leningrad, looks like to me. And he's got a nice front. Uh, and then, okay, you moved everything back. Okay. So, do you want to say anything about this retreat in the Far East, and then your battle readiness for what I assume is going to be a G3, Ted? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely, definitely. Um, well, I know that the retreat doesn't last. I turn them around.
Gotcha.
I think okay, it's I mean, I learned from playing Farm Boy that you really pay the price for pulling all of those back home. Um, but until you see what's really coming, they better scoot.
Sure.
West.
Sure. Good. All right. Pretty this is all very translatable to out of box, I think. So let's go with the Japanese turn. One airfield. Okay. I'm trying to guess where it's gonna go.
Mhm.
It's gonna go in Quangxi. I don't think you own French Indo yet. One factory minor and one harbor. Okay, let's go down to combats. Okay, you took over. Okay, I thought you said you weren't gonna.
That's just the naval.
Ah, that's just the naval. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, Malaya. Hate losing Malaya. 42. Shan, and then going on down here to collect. Oh, he did take French Indo. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. And the harbor goes in French Indo. Good.
Fourth losing
Okay.
the eight IPCs.
Well, you
Yeah.
lose them anyway because you declare on the US.
Gotcha. Say that one more time, Adam.
You lose the 10
$10.
DNO for
Yep.
at peace with
Trade
US
with America. Yep.
because you declared on turn one. So
But right.
that's why I took it on turn one.
Nice. Okay. Good. But you do get additional money for the
Yeah, that's right.
homelands, and you end with 55, which for having, I think you're saying only two of the money islands in the Philippines, 55 is decent money. Let's take a look at the Japanese positioning. Okay, so it already looks, pretty. So not a bunching up in 54 yet. Um, this is obviously incredibly strong, but obviously there is a lot of danger to India, and it is fast,
That's
lightning fast.
actually a full-on 100% India crush move.
Sure, sure.
And this is where a few infantry going down on J1 saved my bacon probably. He's got very extremely efficiently, he's got everything pointed at India. There's nothing to stop.
Gotcha. Hmm. Oh, very good, Adam. You're evil genius.
I bet he's heard that before.
Maybe.
I hate Japanese expansion. I hate particularly this. This is what drives me nuts. China shouldn't be as. Anyways, you'll get me off on the.
Oh
China's
yeah,
worth way too much money in this game.
yeah.
It should be a quagmire. Oh yeah, it is a quagmire because. Oh, you don't have to keep these occupied?
Not
No,
the
those are on
coastal
the
ones.
coast.
Ah, change that rule, man. Change that
Mhm,
rule.
mhm, mhm.
Come on,
And you'll have to rebalance the game.
help us out. Well, it's already 27 off, so there you go. There's you can
I'm
see
a
those.
proponent of a significant bid. I think it keeps the game fresh.
Oh,
Mhm.
So
okay. All
such
right.
imbalance
Okay.
is good for the game if bidding is involved.
Gotcha. Gotcha. But the better player is always going to get the right bid. So, all right. So I want to see a game where the Axis actually have to bid. That's what I want to see
Yeah, some
because
versions exist.
not too many. Obviously, people generally say anniversary, but I think other than that, I'm not sure.
There's
Classic,
the
I
original
guess.
classic, right? Yeah.
Classic, yeah, yeah. But not as much, not nearly the kind of numerical, in classic, no one's given 60 away.
Well,
Okay,
sure, but in classic also you have
less
far,
pieces
far,
and
far, far less
less
pieces.
less pieces and less territory value.
Yeah.
Yep. Carrier, destroyer, 3 fighters, 2 infantry, 1 sub, and 2 transports for the Americans. Combat moves. Let's go here. Okay, so no battle in Caroline, taking that thing over. And then we're going to look at disposition of troops, and I also want to look at the money. Okay, so you're up to $75. So I don't think you own Brazil because right there on the mini map, it's still tan. So without Brazil out of box players, he is at 75 with some of these additional objectives. So let's take a look at the Americans. Um, so you're positioned in Caroline. Um, this southern plunge has left the mid-Pacific very vulnerable. And uh, and it's also left Sea Zone 6, as they say in the South, naked.
Mhm.
Um, and then we have another fleet. So how are we doing for fleets? We've got one, um, 3 subs, 4 subs, 2 carriers, 1, 2, 3 destroyers, cruisers, 1, 2. All right. And you have just recently purchased a sub and a destroyer, I believe. But you probably placed them down here.
Is it Japan? No, I didn't buy fleets yet.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that was the Germans. Sorry, that was the Germans.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at China. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even look at the
Yeah,
Europe. Yeah, let's take a look at Europe. Okay, so you're hanging tight and resupplying. Oh, you did fly one off to Malta. Um,
probably for
where
Egypt.
there's the bomber. The bomber do something this turn?
Not
Uh,
this turn.
okay, not this turn. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then another transport. And it looks like a fighter supply. And Brazil remains empty.
Yeah, I was thinking of this term before. That's unconventional, but I feel that's a really good decision to have 2 transports and 4 units ready to go early.
Right, right, right.
It's more important than the money. Don't need the men yet.
Okay, good, good.
But on the Pacific,
Yes.
Adam has a takeover of Caroline's all calculated in. He knows that's going to happen. He knows it's going to happen, so he's prepared for it. He's not surprised by that at all. It's all part of the plan.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So down to the Chinese, any significant combat? There's only this small battle skirmish. And here we go. Bunching up in Szechuan. Szechuan. All right. Moving on. Let's talk about the big British turn here. They are put to it. They're going to do a factory, a fighter, 2 infantry, 1 mech, and 1 transport. 1 artillery, 5 infantry. Um, and then let's take a look at the combat. No combat. Let's look at just want to see if there's any more money objectives. Ends with 13 in the Pacific and 37 in the Atlantic. Okay, and let's take a look at how things stand. Okay, so Egypt looks good. Um, Nothing to be afraid of right now. Transport in South Africa. The planes made it up here. No movement on the islands yet. Well, so Java is still got a force here, but India looks. I'd have to do the math on the what you can bring there. 4, 5, 6 transports, but you did lose a man there or a man down, but he could be picked up right there. This
Then
one,
there's
oh,
only one
so
for that. I'm missing one
yep,
land unit.
one land unit here is out of here, and then he's got enough troops here. So of the 6, he has not 12, 11 going in there
And I have
as
the
well as
Marine, so I still have 12
every.
land units.
Say again?
I still have the Marine, so I have 12 land units still
Oh, you have the Marine. That's right.
within French
You
Indochina.
have 12 plus I'm assuming there are, I believe, 19 fighters that 19 aircraft the Japanese start with.
Lost one.
Oh, he lost one. So 18.
Yep, it's bad luck.
18,
Yep.
18 and 12. So that's 30 units. And he's got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. Okay, let's go down here. Oh, there you go. Popped it up a little bit. Okay, so 26. All right. Okay, so let's you
Well, there'll
feeling
be there'll
Ted, how are you
be
feeling right now?
well, a little surprised that he actually went to set up for this. So I'm sure it's coming. The three Anzac fighters will move into India, but he'll have 99% odds. It's just a matter of how many planes he would lose. So I'll stop so that we're not foreshadowing too much.
Sure, sure.
And on Egypt, I'd like to make a comment.
Yeah, sure.
So I noticed on UK1 that because of subs in 106, I took a chance that I don't like to take, and that was only 2 units at 96 at the transport destroyer. That's only about a 95% chance. And so that's a 5% chance that you are in serious trouble if you have an Italian transport survive.
Sure. Good. And London, I always want to take a peek at London, especially with the Navy in 112. Um, I don't think you've supplied London. I think that looks like the original stuff, except for there's a plane that's been left behind, as well as a new bomber. But we do have a fleet down here that is obviously both very available with transports. So, all right, let's go to Italy. Italy buys airfields. Okay, let me just try to guess where this is going. I'm assuming it's got to be going to like all Albania in order to give a double scramble off the 97. Maybe. Let's see where that goes. It goes to Greece. Okay, good. Okay, well, I have a brain. I have a brain. Oh, I've heard you do this actually. I probably don't have a brain. I just have a memory because I think Ted said that earlier. Okay, we do have one of those advantages popping up. Let's see what that is. Um,
For
nope.
Italy, no.
Okay, so I thought no, no, not yet. Not yet. Okay, I'm waiting for one of these island advantages. Okay, so let's go down to Italy. Italy is well owning 98, convoying, and yet whoa, 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 whoa. Am I in the
Uh,
right turn? Oh, I must have jumped turns. Whoa, guys. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Right.
Okay, so right here. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so he did pick up the islands, and yeah, I did see it. Okay, you control um the
this
med
is
for
yeah.
5, and you get $21. So anytime Italy is getting $21, that is a good day for Italy. So you do not have the bonus yet? You need something else?
I would need Malta as Italy, but Germany gets the bonus for the Balkans plus Crete, the +2 on Germany's turn.
Balkans, as in right here, Albania,
Yeah.
Bulgaria, Greece. Does that include Yugoslavia and Romania?
Yes, it's the
Okay,
Romanian oil fields national objective.
right. Okay, okay. Okay, let's move on. Oh, there's the can opener, ready to go. Two different kinds, and a little light in southern Italy. I suppose we could call that the year of living dangerously, with the possibility of the Germans supplying southern Italy a little bit. Let's go to Anzac. fighter and at 2 infantry. Okay, combats. Nope, no combat. Tell you these good players, man. They go through turns, and a lot of times there's just they are positioning themselves so well that they don't do as much combat.
That's true.
So, 2 infantry and fighter in New South Wales. Those guys can't move. The middle, the Anzac troop did not make it home, but the 3 fighters did make it to India, and the Anzac are garrisoning Egypt. And I'm assuming that some of your ships have joined the Americans off Caroline. Okay. The French.
So Randy,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna rub your face in this one. The
Yep.
transport by Anzac is most everybody does it, but here it let me reinforce the Carolines without losing the transport. And talking
Okay.
about not losing transports, one of the unusually good things about Adam's play is how jealously he
Yes.
protects transports. He's not into giving them away or trading them. It's just I've never seen anything like it.
Excellent. Good. Well, the Japanese, so I would, the Japanese have a little more advantage in that, at least early on games. So we'll keep an eye on that skill as he makes his way through the game.
Yeah, you keep an eye on it. You'll see.
I will. I will. I appreciate that.
I just don't like
Transports
buying
are
transports.
no. My famous saying, or the saying I like to repeat is transports and aircraft carriers are poison we have to drink. Um,
He
so
does
drink
say
as
that.
so drink as little as possible. 81, the destroyer stays there. He does move out, and they remain. Okay, French is the same. Okay, big turn 3. Here we go. Okay, so going back to the grounds, 2 fighters, 1 infantry, and 7 mechs. No combats, and just placing of units. And we are going to get a control the Balkans for an additional $2, ending up with 49. Let's go look at Germany and how Adam has put Germany together. Okay, so we've got a lot of challenges, and indeed he does reinforce Rome with huge amounts of air force, and he does reinforce Greece with air force as well. Are those are those planes naked? Um, looks
They
like they
can't
are.
transports can't reach there.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so he is in East Poland. Barbarossa has happened. Stalin is drinking himself to death at this point in time, and absent for about 7 days, I think I hear. He is reinforcing the Atlantic Wall. Okay, so you're not a wait in France and kick him out kind of guy. You're a build the wall. Okay,
Might as well use the AA guns for something.
there you go. Okay. So then West Germany is well supplied.
So here I can
1,
comment
2.
on my buy. So I bought
Yes.
some mechs and I bought 2 fighters because
Yes.
I noticed that the Allies are reasonably massing up to put pressure on Germany. So with every air purchase, the Allies have to compensate with more fleets and also more land units for wherever they do land. So it's multi-use, and then you can always use them against Russia or anywhere else. So, and
Excellent.
yeah, that's it. That's about it.
Good. So you are leaving some forces behind in Finland. I'm assuming these are sort of skirmishers, because it looks like Ted is unwilling to give up Novgorod, massed 6 or 7 troops in Karelia. This looks a little more nuanced. Do you want to explain here?
Yeah, for sure. So a couple units in both territories. I know he won't trade mechs and tanks to kill those units. It's also only worth at best one IPC. So I can put those amounts of units, and I know he won't hit it, or he should not hit it. And I also keep some behind for the eventual defense of Norway.
Excellent. All right. So let me ask you this: mechs versus tanks. You choose mechs over tanks. I'm
Yeah.
assuming in I'm assuming in I'm assuming in combination with the air purchases.
Yeah. So in terms of combat effectiveness, there's a balance where there's a perfect ratio. And I lost a bunch of mechs on G1. I had no mechs remaining. So that's why a lot of my purchases were mechs
Okay.
in the early game.
All
And
right.
then with air and artillery that I purchased on turn 1, mechs are more cost efficient.
Excellent. Good. All right. Let's go with the Russian response. I don't
Uh,
think we're going to see.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
gotta stop you there.
Sure.
This is one moment that in this game that I'm really proud of. And I'll reveal. Now, first, a lot was lost in France, the 4 mech, and the tanks are slow to come back because of that. So that is a huge factor in this. But if you go to the beginning of G3 here,
Okay. Let's see.
I stumbled on this actually. So here, yes. So at Romania, you have a big slow stack, and the Axis player is going to prefer to be able to move into Bessarabia and Eastern Poland both. But I knew Adam wouldn't do that because he wouldn't move into Bessarabia because he wouldn't have enough to hold Eastern Poland too. So the nuance here is that actually having that stack in Belarus actually prevented a strong move into Bessarabia because it put pressure on East Poland. And so then the Germans wouldn't take both, couldn't stack both. And that slowed down Adam's advance significantly.
Adam, do you agree with that?
Yeah. It's as Ted said.
Say that one more time.
It's as he is correct. It's as Ted said, and I would add you can basically always force this as Russia if you want.
Okay, so you're looking to make him bunch up in East Poland and not split his forces between Bessarabia and East Poland. Because
Often, actually, yeah. In a lot of my games, I'm allowed to stack Bessarabia, and then I have a bunch of fast units in Eastern Poland, and then on G4 I can stack Ukraine, and
That's the dream.
that's
Yep.
not good for Russia, especially if, as I always do, have Italian can openers ready to do Rostov.
and then you're into the big money
Yeah, I've had
early.
Stalingrad and Caucasus on G5 a couple
G5.
times.
All right. Good. All right. Okay, let's take a look at well done, Ted. And we're going to look at Bessarabia, a little skirmish there. And then you're going to try to take it. Am I in the right turn? Just
Yep.
make
Well, I
sure.
think
Yep.
so.
Yep. Bessarabia, Romania. Okay. You are going to try to take out, let's take a look at the dice on this. You're going to try to take out those can openers. 3v2. Oh,
Now
two.
here's a mate. That's a tough decision right there.
Yeah, it
2
is.
against 2.
It is. You press on. You get a hit. He misses. Oh, 2v1. You get another hit. He gets another hit. Ouch.
Yeah. So that was that's a game ender for
Excuse
me
me.
if I lose it. That was very risky. Losing 2 planes was one more than average, but so that was tough. But if I lose that, all 3 Russian planes, so that was a really gutsy call in round 2.
Well
I didn't
done.
think you'd go for it.
And at the same time, so because the attack west of Bessarabia is unconventional. That was needed to open up a landing place for the U.S. bomber. So I had planned an airstrike on Yugoslavia, and so I wanted to make sure I took Bessarabia to take out all 3 Italian can openers.
Wow. Okay.
But that's
Very
okay. So yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that reminds me. I wanted to say that that's a move that you make against somebody who has 350 points higher rating than you. You got to do something.
excellent. Good. Good. So you are looking at trying to take advantage of what would be a risky attack, but you know that in general they have a longer track record, a better track record, and you're trying to make something happen. So very good. I like that. I like that a lot.
The rest of
I
the
like that a lot.
plan is to knock down the complex at North Italy, and then Italy can't even build a fast unit, but in southern France or southern Italy. So that was a 3 attacks planned, and when the bomber failed, that took a lot away from the Sting. That's an
Ah,
80
gotcha.
80-20 on the tank, and I lost that.
Yep, yep. Okay. Spoiler alert. Okay. So you're looking at this and you get some extra money out of this because of Lend-Lease
Hmm.
as well as Lend-Lease as well Persia and Great Patriotic War, Persia, Siberia, and then there's a double Lend-Lease, I think, for
No,
one
no, no,
of
no.
no?
No. There's the Siberia, there's the Persia, and then that's the 125 one, the
Ah, the 125 one.
Archangel.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
So
Um,
Russia made 7 more, or actually no, 9 more than would in out of box here.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Very
I'll
good.
say again because it was on a different video before, but this is one of the great things about the balanced mod is getting Russia and India a little more money so that they can't just both get steamrolled like in out of box. It's a
Sure,
lot easier to do.
sure.
So I also so you have a really nice dynamic Eastern Front for the Germans now. Makes it it's a lot better.
Very good. Good. All right. You looking at this, Adam, and still feeling very confident?
I know that Russia is going to be tough to break. One thing I was happy about, though, on round 2 for Russia was that the units moved west. I think it's basically always a mistake to not keep 12 plus 2 AA guns in the east, especially even not on a J1, but on the J1. Japan can't be everywhere, so I think they should have gone to a mirror. They should have been in a mirror this turn.
Oh,
Gotcha. Excellent. Yeah, I call my the Japanese the pizza dough strategy, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to pull them in many different directions. Sometimes even putting Chinese in the north here, so you want to send some planes up to support a troop. Normally, every attack an Axis player wants to make is a 3-for-1. And with these single infantry on the front, you'd like air support, but that air support cannot be hitting India as well as northern China, as well as southern China, as well as all the places it wants to. So let's see what Japan does. Speaking of Japan, it buys Navy, so +5 infantry. So um, I always try to keep track of the naval spending. This is the first naval spending, I believe, by the Japanese. Is that correct, Adam?
Yeah, that's correct.
So this is a big moment when you can force the Japanese player. I can say that, force the Japanese player to buy Navy instead of grounders. That's always a good thing. Um, but I think we'll open up, go to Celebes. Okay, he is ready for the invasion. He is ready to take the Money Islands. He is not going to go into India. And he is going to go into Java. And let's see how that goes. Okay, so he is successful. And can
But
you tell us?
Java had a lot of casualties.
yeah,
Yes.
that was
Can
a
you
big yeah.
can you tell us why uh, one infantry owned by the Japanese lost?
No, that's just the last round.
Oh, that's
But
just the last round.
there's there's 7 units that went into it, and only 3 units survived.
Ah, gotcha. Very good. Can you tell us why you did not go into India?
Yeah.
I think you had
Uh,
a few more units.
I think I only had like 1 or 2 extra units in terms of hit points. I also had 3 bombards, and on average, I had higher strength units. But there's no reason to rush it. I can get it the round after if he stays there, and I'll get a much better TUV swing on average if he does stay there on the next round. And I also have islands to take for extra income. So
Right. Sure. Sure.
it's the wrong move to go for India in this situation.
Sure. Now you won't be able to get it next turn because your boats won't be full. Um, I don't think it doesn't look like your boats are gonna. Oh no, no, I'm sorry. I'm not into the non-com. There they are. Shan State. Okay, so we got full boats. One, two.
I left
Uh,
a guy in Sumatra to replenish, but I had more losses than expected, so it's not enough to replenish.
sure, sure. So a little bit. You're gonna be a little short on your boats, but not too far behind. Okay. All right. Um, Ted, how you feeling right now as you see this? You've lost your precious Java. You knew it was going to happen sooner or later. You're happy though, I would think that he didn't go for India.
Yeah. So I wouldn't know how to deal with India going down here, and it was just a matter of how many planes would be lost. And I mean, I wasn't stunned that Adam didn't go for it because he doesn't want to lose a whole bunch of planes. He's 300 points higher than me again, so he doesn't need to do this risky attack. Now Java was very lucky for me and probably saved the game for me right there with all those extra, especially infantry.
Okay, we've had
Um,
3 moments where the game has been
yeah,
saved for you.
yeah, it's true.
France,
I'm not
Fr-
exaggerating.
France, Romania, and now
Hmm.
here. The game
Hmm.
is, oh, I'm sorry, not, and Yunnan. The game is being, no, I'm sorry, Manila. The game has been sort of saved from you uh,
Yeah,
uh, in 3 different areas. Okay, luck has come through for you.
there's also the opportunity. There's the chance to go east from Java, and I mean, I was worried about Australia too. Actually, but with very heavy losses in Java, I really dodged a bullet.
So by the way, India would have been a 29 versus 30 with 3 bombardments.
Mm.
Just let you know.
Well, with 3 bombardments, you might scramble the attack.
Yeah,
Oh,
it comes up to about the same.
gotcha. Gotcha. Right. You're right. So then 28 versus 30. Okay. Um, just trying to keep the numbers in mind. Now, is he going to lose this transport? You did tell me he's going to guard his transports.
Yeah, but
You gonna take that out?
he's gonna kill my sub that goes after it.
It's
So
okay. I'll eat a transport for a sub any day of the week. Yum yum. Okay. Let's see. So, oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So out of box players. This is not a mistake. This is what has to be done because if they leave one of these unoccupied, a Chinese unit will spring up. Is that correct, gentlemen?
Yes.
well said. Yep.
Okay, so this is not a drill. This is not a mistake. Okay, good. I like this. I wish every Axis um, a player had to do this in especially in Europe, because obviously France, for instance, had a strong resistance. Both, if you could see, Italy. I just read a book about an Italian partisan. It was a quite a guy. Anyways, okay, let's keep going. World War II. Love that history. Um, okay, so the American response. Okay, so let's just take a look. He just bought carrier, destroyer, fighter, and a sub. One, two, three, four. Just dumb numbers. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, so 8. And let's see. Let's go to combats. Oh, we got some combats. Okay. I'm going to close this up just a little more so I can see more of the board. Okay, Northern Italy. And if there's any dice that are thrown, let me know, but I'm
Well,
just gonna scroll through them.
start with the kamikaze strike.
Oh, I'm
One.
sorry.
Oh
Kamikaze.
yeah, this is a good one.
Okay. Very good. And I'm going to open up the panel here, left panel here, the right panel. I'm sorry. Whoa, kamikaze. What? I'm not seeing dice roll. Oh, there they are. Kamikaze. You put every 6 of them,
6. Yep.
all of them on this battleship. And that is where? 17. Where's 17? I forget.
Ewo.
Iwo Jima. No kidding. Wow. Very good. Okay. Northern Italy.
Well, since we're talking about that, I think I forgot kamikazes.
Sure.
Well, maybe not. That's probably the
Uh,
battle. I would have moved the battleship in for that reason, but that was about a 30% chance that I would survive. So I was disappointed about that. And it's nice I was never able to take advantage of it, but it's nice to have Japan at 0 kamikazes because they can't stop bombardment with it.
Right. Right. Okay. Sardinia falls to the Americans. Marshall Islands falls to the Americans. Philippine, the battle for the sea zone. I'm assuming that goes well. Um, Iwo Jima, Yugoslavia. Okay, let's take a look there at the poor Americans. Okay, does he go down right away? Oh, he goes down right away. Ah, first turn. All right. Let's
So
keep going.
the bomber's on a suicide mission because it would land in
Sure.
Bessarabia.
Yep. Lost a
did
plane to the
not get the hit.
destroyer. Didn't get the hits. I just did the same thing in a battle for Finland, and I was trying to get it down to 1. He had 2 infantry in Finland. I just landed 2 British troops here. I knew he had planes, but I figured a bomber hit one of them, and then he's down to a 1-1. I take him out, and then Norway becomes, I mean, he had no resources anywhere near Norway. So just now he could have sacrificed a plane, but he had earlier mentioned how he was so unwilling to sacrifice planes. So I figured there was a chance I could have a stone in the shoe for the rest of the game. All right, let's take a look at the where America is at the end, and we get a lot of. Let's see where we are for money. 83. Okay, so all right, tell me what's going on with these bonuses. Must be mostly Pacific.
I'll
So
be right
you've
back.
so
Adam will take care of you there. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Marshall, Iwo,
There's
Caroline.
there's the one that he's been getting since the beginning of the game. There's the Midway, Wake Island, and Guam. I know.
Sure.
So that's I know for the U.S. and the Japanese, but I have not yet taken Guam. So he's been getting that since U.S. one.
And then he also gets this one. No, he doesn't get this one.
No, he does not because the Italians control one of them, so Tunisia. But he does get
Okay.
4 from getting northern Italy,
Oh,
right?
oh, and he picked up
Or
Brazil. Oh, yeah, yeah, Northern Italy. Right, right, right. And
yeah,
Brazil. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So he's getting 5
So,
more than out of box.
right, right. Okay, so he's got Brazil. He suddenly moves into Northern Italy. Now, this looks like a bit of a, you know, well, obviously the other ships are going to follow along, but it looks like this fleet is going to suffer loss, I would think. A lot of resources in the area, though. And the bomber, where did the bomber
The,
go?
the bomber
Oh, the
tried to
bomber was
take
lost.
Yugoslavia.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Nothing in the North Pacific. And he is got a lot of broad influence over the mid Pacific. And okay.
the move to Iwo made it so that he can take um, Marshall without losing the transport or without having to defend it. So that's part of a future national objective for Carolina and all the surrounding territories to be owned by the Allies. The U.S. gets +5, so that's
Oh,
what he's aiming for.
okay. So bomber leaving could hit Marshall and then land in Iwo is what
No,
you're
no, just a submarine from season 6 from Japan could have gone to
ah,
Marshall, but then there's
the block. Right.
in Iwo.
Excellent. Okay, good. Okay. Well, that's quite a lot of complicated gameplay there, Ted. Um, Now, the fact that he is so deep into, um, oh, I didn't notice. I'm not sure we did a review of the end of your turn here. So you, as Japan, are bunched up in Java. You can go two ways. You can go to Sydney or Queensland. You can go to India. You're a little short on troops.
Yeah, India is
Uh,
low odds right now.
what's that?
India is low. I have low odds on India right now.
Yes, yes. Right, right, right. But so
And even
again, for our out of box friends, um, this is it. The right here is there is one extraneous unit in China. The rest are needed, except for this anti-aircraft. And it's about to get a little bit more serious when these Russian troops move into Amur. Um, and Japan looks Japan looks okay. Japan is not, I mean, with a quick build of 10 or 8, 8, right? They can build 8.
no, they can build 10. It's
Oh, they can build
a
it's a
major
major
factory.
factory. That's
Yeah,
right. Sorry, I was playing 42 and
yeah.
that has limits with dollar value. Yeah. So how are you feeling about at the end of America turn? You're still pretty confident. I mean, you've got some coastal areas. For instance, Caroline has you can actually reach the coast from Caroline. So I mean, I'm sure you've seen all this before, but I mean, in some ways, this fleet is, in one sense, very in position, but it's also out of position for any defense of the homeland. Are you feeling pretty good about this, Adam, right now? About your position as Japan?
I think it would be a lot worse if the Russians were in a mirror at this, like right now. I would have
Okay.
definitely played differently if that was the case. But here, I don't think he has any threats. He took Iwo Jima, so that takes away 4 from Japan, and that's all he can do in the north right now.
Okay. Now he does have Hawaiian, which can come in to C Zone 6 next turn. I guess grab Korea. Um, Bombers would be helpful, I think. I mean, it'd be nice to have a bomber. Well, if he was in a more, obviously, then you could do the whole Korea bomber land planes thing. All right, okay. Let's move on to China. China is gonna, I would assume, oh, skirmish. Uh, Now, are you thinking at all about sort of a sacrificial like move into Yunnan at this point in time, Ted? Or are you still feeling pretty good about your position?
He's got a lot of ground next to Union. It would be suicide.
Yes, yeah, I do know it would be suicide, but he does seem low on ground units. So it might compel me to say, okay, let's see how many ground units I can ground down away from his already pretty thin forces with the loss of life in Java as well as Philippines as well as Yunnan. Um, so
No,
nope, nope. Okay,
you keep a front,
keep a front.
another front
Yep.
for Japan, and for crying out loud, I got artillery. I'm not going to throw them away.
He likes his artillery. No, that's okay, good, valid. I do always prefer to keep fronts live as opposed to, yeah, we're done with that front. We don't have to worry about it. So I appreciate you've got a northern push. You've got aiming to the central. Pacific. Obviously down here is a little unsafe right now. This is actually a sort of a, this obviously could be very much in danger.
Which, oh, no,
Although,
no, you gotta look north. There's 2 planes at Johnston and 2 in the Carolines.
oh,
Sure,
there you go. Oh, okay, you can quickly get forces down
I'm
there
sure I
to
had that
Sydney.
carefully calculated out, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, good. All right. And let's go to the British. Um, the British by 2. Oh, Adam, what's your thought about China at this point in time? Would you have moved into Yunnan? Are
No,
you
no, 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 no.
I don't
There's at the very like I might consider it if India could have been taken, and then Japan has to make a choice. But here, it would just be one after the other. There's no points here.
right, right.
They're trying to sacrifice themselves.
So last turn, back in turn 2, let's just I'm trying to remember what turn 2 was. Um, with it looking like a attack on India was ready, would that have been the time to move into Yunnan, or am I completely off my rocker that
I think
throwing
Japan,
those troops away?
since I didn't attack India anyway, it would have been a mistake because I would have just killed the Yunnan stack.
Sure, sure. Right, right. Just again, the whole what direction are you being pulled into? You got Java to deal with. You have Yunnan to deal with. You have India. Okay. All right. Well, you guys are teaching me stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But good. Good. I am a little bit too much of a in chess. I was always a little bit too much of a sacrifice. Look for a place to take out the other opponent's queen.
Mhm,
So a queen exchange, and then play
mhm.
with the other guys. Okay, so we have British buying 2 destroyers, 3 infantry, 2 subs, a lot of sea units. This is obviously in response to the purchase of the airplanes, the airplane, singular, and then 4 infantry for UK Pacific and combat Sicily. Okay, let's reduce this a little bit. Okay, we're going for the islands again, folks. This is because of the national objectives, I think. So, battle in Burma, kill any Japanese troop you can. Um, and then Iraq is captured, Ethiopia is fought over, and then placing units destroyer in 71 infantry in Egypt and destroyer and 2 subs in New Brunswick. Okay, and let's take a look at how much you collect, and then we'll look at your troops. 36, $39. Southern Europe beachhead. Okay.
Just for Sicily and Sardinia in this case.
Sicily and Sardinia. Okay. And then down. Okay, there seems to be some editing going on, but at the end of it, they make $7. Yeah, it looks like $7. Okay, let's take a look at the British in the Med. Okay, this is quite an assembly of troops. Ted, you probably know this. This looks to be very wipe outable. Is that a word?
Right,
Um,
right. It's a gambit to take down German air.
okay. All right. Okay. 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 Gotcha. All right. And then lots of supply lines coming up through the destroyer. Um, what's the destroyer in 71 for?
The Jap sub can disrupt India's valuable NO by going west of into the Indian Ocean. So it's to intercept Japanese sub.
Very good. Okay. Good.
There's also the
Yes.
consideration that if ever there's war between Japan and
Mhm.
Russia, a sub or any warship in Sea Zone 80,
Right here.
the Persia Sea Zone, also disrupts one of the Lend-Lease for Russia.
Lend-Lease. Sure.
And
Good.
convoys 4 IPCs, up to 4
Yeah.
IPCs.
Yes.
Right. See, Adam's better at telling what I was doing than I am. That's pretty cool. The placement in 106 looks odd to an out of the box player, but if a German sub gets into the Atlantic, you lose an NL.
Right.
Yeah, you need a destroyer in that area to prevent season 124 right of Iceland. For a German sub can go there and take 3 away from UK. And that destroyer in Canada has range to kill that if the German sub goes there, so it prevents that.
Okay.
Additionally, 109 is not safe at all.
In this
Right.
case, it would have been safe because Germany has a lot of targets.
Oh,
Yes, I
okay.
was just thinking of that. That if he's going to take this Air Force out, he's not going to risk just the boats. I wouldn't think. So okay. Okay, German Air. Okay. Obviously, so Sardinia and Sicily are yours, and that you will get that bonus even if you lose Northern Italy for until the Italians come and take it, I would assume.
There's one more thing to it. You have to have a man standing on it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
On one of them, at
Yep.
least.
Oh, on one of them. Okay.
You need to own both and
Any
have
ground.
one land unit standing on it, at least.
Hmm. I'm not thrilled with the expenditure of well, I mean, you've got a Marine here and you've got infantry artillery here, tank and infantry, artillery and infantry. Okay. All right. Okay, so the I think we reviewed the British, right? So the plane in Scotland, Ted, is that what is that for? It, just to
Oh,
prevent.
possibility to get to Russia.
Okay, all right, okay, good. Okay, that makes sense. That's what I love about Scotland. Oh, okay, I'll lobby you, Adam, for the next version to have a naval base or a factory in Scotland. That would be really cool. I mean, I think there's probably some factories in the north of England. What do you guys think? You guys think so?
Didn't they invent factories?
Yeah, really. Don't you think?
Yeah, there's also the Scapa Flow naval base, but
There
I
you
prefer
go.
to leave those kinds of things to the player. I've built a naval base in Scotland before.
Very good, very good. I like it. I appreciate that. Okay, and so you resupplied India just a little bit. And you're feeling pretty good about India still?
India stands strong for quite a while.
India stands strong. All right, good.
I can't stand losing India. I don't know what to do after that.
Yeah, it's rough. I do not like
Here,
it.
here the Italians do an important move. Try to
Okay.
figure out for what reason.
All right. So he takes over Transjordan, um, and then obviously takes back northern Italy, and then places and places in southern Italy, obviously. Collects 16, and now I have a job of figuring out why would you want to grab Transjordan? I was a little surprised that Unit 1 to this, but
The Italians get one rounded if they attack.
yeah, sure. I just thought you would prefer that to losing German air. Um,
There's a cheaper alternative to make that battle easier.
oh, okay. All right. I look forward to seeing that. So not the neutrals. The neutrals are still okay. So obviously you try to take this out, you're going to have to commit some forces there. So taking this out becomes quite difficult. Um, 6, 7, 6. with the mech coming in. 2 footers. I don't have it. What do you got?
Ted, would you like to say it?
What's that?
Would you like
Well,
to reveal it, Ted?
the reveal
Me?
of why he goes into Transjordan.
I actually either I can't recall or I couldn't make any sense out of it.
Okay, okay. It's to prevent the French destroyer from joining the fleet.
Oh, okay. He cut
So that
off the
reduce,
Suez.
yeah, it reduces the likelihood of the attack going horribly wrong for the Germans with one less destroyer.
Oh, you mean the moving the fleet down here?
No, well, sure, but also Transjordan.
Sure. Okay. 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 If the fleet wasn't there, I might have got that. But the fleet being there kind of renders that a little mute, doesn't it? Um,
Yeah.
so, okay. Cool. This is a big move in 42, Transjordan, turn 1. The Germans usually take Transjordan. But obviously, you are definitely, boy, uh, I am not looking forward to seeing that, Allied fleet go down, dude. I
Yeah, there's a
am
lot of
not looking
transport.
forward to that. Okay, let's see
Actually,
what.
I didn't really like as the Germans. I don't like attacking fleet with German air, but there's too many transports during war, so I had to go for it.
I know you do. But when that goes down, there is. So the other thing was, okay, all right, let's see what happens. Okay, so
The
Anzac
Italians
buys.
couldn't block the French from Gibraltar to join the fleet because they had no naval base. They were in they were in the southern Greece sea zone, so they could not reach to block the other French from joining the fleet.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sure, good. So Anzac buys an armor and an infantry and a mech. Okay, and then places them in New South Wales. And you make. Okay, Ted.
Mhm.
I gotta admit, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here going, I want sharp things. I want sharp things that float. What are you thinking? Just
Australia is in serious trouble.
okay, okay,
I'm pretty sure I had to think a lot and figure out scenarios, and I needed the fast units probably to stop a landing in Western Australia,
sure, yeah,
taking hold.
sure. You take a landing, and then a sudden the planes can land, and then all of a sudden you are in deep over your head. Okay. And as much as Caroline has some units, um, a lot of those units are either out of
Oh,
position or
go off to the right there in Fiji. I needed every single unit. So I took an AA off of the Carolines and swung out so that if necessary, I could grab a guy from New Zealand and drop 2 more units. It was that dangerous.
wow. Okay.
So see, those men lost on job. It would just saved me.
All right. So Adam, the big reveal, are you thinking about Sydney right now, or are you
Not at all. As long as
not at
it's
all?
being respected, I'm not going for it.
As long as what?
As
It's
long as
being
it's being
respected.
respected, as long as it's being defended, and he's not buying ships and transports, I won't go for it. I have things to deal with in the north.
Okay. So if he hadn't bought 3 grounders, you might have thought about it.
Yeah, if he leaves it empty or close to empty, yeah.
Six. There's 8 right here. There's 7 right here without those 3 grounders. Is that tempting?
Well, then there's planes in Carolines that can also go, and then there's
Yes.
planes on the carrier in Johnston that
Yep.
can reach. So there's way too much to reach. I
Yes.
highly
Okay.
doubt it's above 50%.
All right. And that's what you're
It
looking
was
for. You're looking, you might try an 50-50 or a 60
No, absolutely
60-40.
not. Absolutely not.
So
Because I
how about
played out of
70-30?
no. It's 95 plus.
80-20,
95 plus.
95 plus.
I
All
didn't
right.
even calculate it. It looked not even close.
Not even close. Okay, good. I love that information. So the French move up, the French move back, the French join the fleet, looking for some attrition. Boy, I hope you take down some German air.
mhm.
And joining the party in Scotland. Okay, here it is. I'm looking forward to this turn here. We're at 10:48, boys. I don't know if anybody needs to think about going, but
I'm
let's
good.
press through at least one more. One fighter, 8 mech, one sub. So not tanks, no tanks there, and one more sub into the water. Okay. Bessarabia. Bessarabia gets hammered. And C Zone 95. Let's pull that one up. Okay. I hate that AAA reveals everything at the beginning, but here we go. Oh, those are some nice hits. Okay, let's hope. Let's hope for some good allied hits. Oh no. Ah, shucks. That sucks. All right. Oh, look at those fours. Oh my goodness, Ted. Wow.
This was the worst dice battle of the game for me.
Wow.
I
Shucks.
think it was three planes under average, and after 110 and 111, this was another battle where the Germans did not lose as many air as you would hope. And I think there's another one coming, but this was three under average. And again, I'm 300 points lower than Adam. So if I could just get one or two above average, I've got a good shot. This was a backbreaker.
So I gotta ask, this NO chasing, I gotta ask. I mean, is chasing these NOs worth it? I
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
I don't see how that makes sense.
You can pick them up on the way somewhere. They're not stranded.
No, I'm talking about
Yep.
$75,
Oh,
losing
the
$75 worth of naval resources in order to grab what'd you say, $2 per turn?
Great.
well,
$3 per turn, I mean.
it was
I
all
mean,
in one. I took down North Italy, and I didn't know how the bomber would do in Yugoslavia. So
sure.
that involved taking the fleet in there. The three NO that would appear to last a long time um, is nice. And as Sardinia and Sicily, even without the NO at all, are so valuable because you could have Allied fighters on there threatening Rome.
All right, Adam, I got to ask your opinion on this because I got to disagree with this. I got to if I would think a more patient approach would be better. What are you thinking as far as
Well, there's two separate points here. One of them is the action in this game, and the other is the value of those islands, regardless of the NO.
sure,
Um, I guess you could call me an island hater. Some islands in the game I think really don't have much strategic value at all, and I think those two islands are part of them. Um, in terms of the move this game, yeah, I think with hindsight, if you know how the dice are going to go, of course it's bad.
sure.
But as the Germans, I don't like doing those attacks, and mm, he if you feel you're behind, you should make these kinds of plays. So I don't disagree with the move,
Okay, all right, okay, all right.
and
Well,
I'm very relieved it went well for me, of course.
well, um, okay. So, okay, $61. No additional. Oh, seven, two for the control of the Balkans. Okay, let's take a look at the German situation. Okay, so we have an embattled Egypt. Some supplies are in the area. These two fighters, tanks, mechs, and then over here we have an embattled India. How is Moscow looking? So Moscow, I mean, looks. I don't know. I think Moscow. I think probably of all the arenas, Moscow might be the. I think the Eastern Front is actually one of the better fronts in the war. What are you thinking, Ted?
What do you mean by better fronts? I'm not sure what you mean.
Okay, that you are doing the best
Oh,
of
okay.
all
Yeah,
the
well, two things. Terrible Paris. That's a bottom 4% result in Paris. So that's a huge help to me. And I think Russia's my strongest power,
okay,
the one I'm best at playing.
sure. Okay, here is the here there was no battles for Russia. You purchased 3 armor. Whoa, 2 infantry and 5 mech. Okay.
So those are necessary to keep a stack of Ukraine, prevent a stack of Ukraine. And the Russians have enough ground units that um, Moscow is not under threat. So I'm fighting to keep Adam out of Ukraine. He's going to take it in 4 rounds against most people, um, and I delayed him a couple of rounds, which again saved my bacon for a while.
Okay. So um wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's some nice moves. And
So like Adam
I'm
said
assuming
about the,
I'm
go
assuming
ahead.
that you know for sure that you already know ahead of time he's not going to take Ukraine next turn because of this
Yep.
action. Okay,
Yeah,
so
he won't do it.
well done. Well done. Um,
And what Adam was saying, tip of the cap again, Adam was talking about proportions where mech are not always stronger dollar for dollar than tanks. With all that infantry, et cetera. I mean, you run the calcs. 3 tanks were stronger than what is it, 18? Well, yeah, it doesn't even divide evenly. So 3 tanks was stronger than all mech.
all
And it
right.
turned out I didn't know how useful those would be for rounds to come, but that fast unit buy um, really helped me a lot for several rounds.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And the six are making it back to Novgorod. They will make it to Moscow in time, which has got to be huge. And of course, you're back in a more to challenge the Japanese. The Russian sub is into southern France. So you're choosing to convoy the Italians as opposed to the Germans. Um, any, or you want them in the fight to maybe plunk at this, see if this navy might come apart.
Well, I hate to sub in 105 because it's a bad position. Um, and I mean, the Italian Navy's getting weak. So 97 is the sweet spot. And Southern France is a 3. So,
Sure.
yeah, that's the way to go.
Good. Okay. Good. Adam, anything to say about this Russian defense?
I think one more round of slow units with a lot of artillery might have been. That's probably what I would have done because let's say German stack Ukraine. I think a good blocker on Rostov um, keeps Germany out. So it's the balance between allowing Germany to buy artillery every turn out of Ukraine versus having to buy quote unquote inefficient fast units for
Okay.
Russia. So that's
So
that's the
you're
that's the
you're, you
debate.
so you're buying artillery infantry and letting Germany have Ukraine. Is that correct?
That's probably what I would have done, and then I put a blocker in Rostov
And
to block the can open
sure.
and
Okay.
dead zone Rostov with
Right.
fast artillery, but probably not even necessary with like 9 artillery, 1 infantry, and then artillery in Volgograd.
Okay.
So then you have a lot more units on the ground, and I think that's probably your best bet to keep the Germans back.
Okay. Good. Okay. All right. Let's go to Japan. Okay, so didn't anticipate getting this far. Carrier, destroyer, fighters, and 2 subs. For the grounders, we have 3 infantry and 1 marine. So, um, again, we are, like I said, I try to keep an eye on the purchases of the allies together onto the mainland. And right now, this was a purchase of 4. And we might even say 3 because the Marine's going to be out in the islands. There's going to be 4 grounders added to Japan. Now, I mean, I think that's going to be, you know, I don't necessarily, as an ally, I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see Japan buying ships. So let's see what he does. He's going to attack Burma, and he's obviously going to win Burma. He's going to attack Seazone 44. He's probably going to win that, I would think. And he's going to attack Yunnan. So skirmishing battles, small battles. Let's see where he positions himself. Okay, and he gets the Dutch. Is this collects $67? I just want to take a look right now. I always like to keep an eye on the players. So right now, at the
You have
end
to
of
go a bit
this,
later to get the.
144. So 144 is, and I like I said, this is out of box. My out of box thinking 144 is definitely red zone. So what'd you say again, Adam?
No, never mind. Yeah, you just have to click a bit later to get the Japan to add it to the
Right. Yep.
counts.
Yep. I think it's 144, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay. So let's take a look at his positioning. So again, I think there's a ground deficit. Now, if there was a force in 54, obviously that's a lot of times what people do, or a force in Caroline, that's a lot of times what people do. Um, these weakly held areas would be more contested. But with these national objectives, they're drawing the United States, whoa, and out to an out to a fight with the Japanese fleet. Um, so this is where, honestly speaking, I am not appreciating the national objectives, just because they they seem to be distracting the American fleet, honestly.
Oh, that's
But
just my weird play.
okay, maybe so, maybe so. Would that be your opinion, Adam? To be honest, I mean, to be
I would ignore a lot of these island NOs if you're going to lose transports and if you're going to put your fleet out of place. If you're on the way to something and you take you might as well going to take them, sure, take them. But if not, I, I would just position myself to threaten the most amount of things.
would you think Carolina 54 was the place to be at this point in
I
time of the game?
I was very much like 54.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just
But here,
trying to think through this, guys. I'm not
yeah.
criticizing. I'm not at your guys' level. Um, so I'm seeing. I'm try. The only way. I mean, you're being amazing. So you are, Ted. You are absolutely starving him of ground troops. So, and that in itself is helpful for India, right? I mean, if we just look at the ground troops right now, six here. There's another six here. That's 12, 13 ground units. Now, so if he takes India, he's going to be biting into his planes for sure, 100%, right? Um, so, but on the other hand, um, what he's got going on right now looks very sustainable. I mean, he's got even up here with where the Russians are endangering these two, he has got plenty of planes and transports to fight her back. But I'm double counting because obviously I'm thinking these forces are also going to fight against the Americans. So, anyways, just some thoughts looking at this thing. Um, and I mean, this does look a little thin, and I love this here. Obviously, if there was six more, it would be even even better. But on the other hand, I'm very impressed that the six are going to make it to Moscow. So, anyways, just some random thoughts, guys. Uh, Anything you want to say about Japan turn four? I think it's four. Ted, do you want to say anything about Japan turn four?
Yeah, I'll take this opportunity to just first of all, the Russian and Japanese front has more intricacy to it
Yeah,
because if there's a declaration of war, It's not just Mongolia, but you have NOs that will kick in.
Okay, tell me about those. I forgot about those.
Oh, sure. So there's 3 Lend-Lease routes, and I'm stealing Adam's thunder here.
No, go for it.
Okay, thanks. The Archangel route would open up, but of course, a sub in 125 would stop that. But a new one is the Persia route, which again, a Japanese sub would stop that. And there's the Amur route, but if Japan takes Amur, then that's cut off. So those Lend-Lease routes are always available for a +2, but if Japan declares on Russia, they all go to +4.
Oh, so Russia is right now receiving Lend-Lease, correct?
From everywhere,
Yes,
yeah,
Yes.
except for
Okay.
125.
Gotcha. Except for 125, right? Okay. But
But
not
if
double.
there no, if Japan declares war on Russia, they are entitled to double those rights value. But if Russia declares war on Japan, then there's no doubling, and Japan can block the Amur route very easily with a sub there.
Sure, sure, sure. Okay.
So
All right.
that's why Japan and Russia are at peace right now, and likely will be in the future.
don't
But
they
I'm
look
assu
peaceful there, Randy?
but I'm assuming Japan, Adam, that you would, if you had 18 out here, would violate the treaty in order to put the pressure on the the Japanese at some point in time.
Uh,
Not necessarily now, but at some point in time.
I think the 12 there, one turn earlier, would have been a lot of pressure for Japan.
Okay.
Then the US could have really threatened Manchuria and Korea with a stack there.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But here with Japan, like I'm baiting a declaration of war between Russia and I'm baiting Russia to declare war on Japan to take one of those
Sure.
because I think it's not worth it to do it. So
Right. 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 Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Let's go with the Americans. You're going to purchase, and again, we're going to talk about this naval arms race. Oh, we got a harbor coming in. Okay, we got a sub 1, 2, 3, and 4 versus his commitment of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so America's going to be falling behind a little bit if every one of them goes into the Pacific. And of course, America is a two-front war. So let's see what happens. We got Palau Islands. Palau. Anybody know how to say that?
I think it's
Well, there's
Palau.
Peleliu and there's Palau and a
Palau.
couple alternative names, I think.
Adam, how'd you say it?
I think it's Palau, but I'm no expert.
Palau. Okay. Marianas coming into the Marianas. Manchuria coming in.
I forgot about that.
And then 98. Um, okay. Okay, so here we have a cruiser and a destroyer, and you're looking to get a little lucky.
Just want to
Um,
hit.
just want to hit, and you don't get it.
Hurts.
Okay. Yeah, it does. Yep. Okay. And kind of go down here and just look at the money again. 83 again. And I'm going to take a look at the players one more time. Where are we at with it? No, it's not worth it yet. Let's go to UK first. Okay, so the American, we have a fighter here. We still have the Sardinia troop. We have a small fleet, and we've got some more supply to the North Africa. So um, the North Atlantic is, and then we've got a bit of a fleet here. Okay. So then where did we go with the fleet? We went into Okinawa Sea Zone 19, excuse me, and landed on and threw away some transports to grab some islands, forcing him to do some island hopping if he wants to, as well as placing an air base in naval base in Wake. Okay. I've done
The
that on.
Marianas and Palau Islands complete the another
Oh,
additional NO for the US, so it's an
okay.
extra +5.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Very good. Okay. And the bomber comes in.
I gotta tell on myself here.
Yeah.
So I made a mistake in attacking Manchuria with the plane. I forgot that Russia wasn't at war with
Uh,
Japan, so America can't land there. So that would have been edited later. So if I didn't lose the plane, the carrier would have to come into 19 and everything would die.
whoa. Yikes. So where's the plane landing in Amur? That's
Well, I
coming from.
can't. It's got a. Oh, it was from Iwo.
Oh, you have to
Carrier.
edit that?
I'll have to edit it off because Adam pointed out. Apparently, the engine didn't stop me.
No,
Right.
because
Um,
they're both allied because they're both at war with Euro-Axis, so the engine won't disallow it.
Right. So player enforced.
Yeah.
Yep.
uh,
Okay. Okay. Um,
well,
so
I think Adam let me. Didn't you? You let me take it back, didn't you? Because
Ooh, no, you continued the fight with just the fighter, and then
and then
lost
I.
combat.
Okay, what a memory. Yep. Yep.
okay.
Greedout's
So
got a memory like that too.
so how are you feeling right now, Ted, as far as the Pacific goes?
Well, I have a very unconventional Pacific play that I do. It can serve to throw people off sometimes. The naval base in Wake is going to be useful in the future. From Wake, you can penetrate deeper into the Western Pacific, and you can do almost everything that you can do from Hawaii. Cost a lot, but I had planned that ahead. Of course, when I took EWO, I knew I had to have an escape route.
Sure. Excellent. Okay. I've done Wake turn one, just to because you can get so much to Wake turn one. Um, obviously, if you could somehow then penetrate into Guam and but that's sort of trying to catch a Japanese player and like Java and then penetrate from Wake to Guam.
The
But
Wake
Well,
Naval Base is
speaking,
also, yeah, go for it, go for it.
oh, okay. Yeah, quickly, um, Adam does, speaking of bases, a very effective air base, naval base, and industrial complex on French Indochina is part of his playbook. And to get that, he likes that. Part of the reason he likes the J1 is that you can build those facilities on J2. And from playing against him this game, it becomes clear what a extremely powerful hub that is.
Andrew A. Gamer loves this as well. So if you play against him, you're going to face this as well. You were going to say something, Adam?
Yes, so Guam is part of the another additional NO. There's Guam, Midway, and Wake Island. For now, they're in, well, they started in US hands and they're still in US hands. So that's an additional benefit of the Wake Island naval base. You have a threat on Guam. So it makes the Japanese player either have to sacrifice a transfer to take it or just not take it. So you keep
Okay,
getting 5 per turn. That's, well, I'm talking about Guam because that's the easiest one for Japan to contest
sure.
at this point.
By the way, why Adam514?
No, it's the phone area code of my city.
Oh, I thought it was your birthday,
No,
May
it's not.
14.
A couple of
So,
people thought that, but no, no.
Yeah.
so your name is Adam?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Adam. Okay. Okay. So I I'm still not sold on the island strategy, but I do understand that it are we seeing extra money on account of this? We're seeing $83, so that's about 11 higher than, the 72 you'd get if you had Brazil, but then also,
Well, he has
so you'd
Brazil.
be
He's
back
getting
at
10.
72.
US is getting 10 more because of the islands.
Sure. Yep. Yep. That's right. I think 11, right?
No, it's +5, so it's just +10.
Oh, he means Iwo.
Uh,
Oh, yes,
okay, yeah.
Ewo's.
Iwo
He's
is
got
+10.
Ewo's. Yep. Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, he wouldn't have gone to Ewo unless he had obviously had the island bonus, or at least I don't think he would have. Um, But okay, let's go to the Chinese. I would assume there's just some more skirmishes and then yep. So just some skirmishes, staying alive, staying alive. Hot, hot, hot. Staying alive. Okay, so I mean, definitely, you know, s- there's something to be said for staying alive, right? I mean, that's a stone in Japan's shoe, and I do, like I said, I do appreciate this, although I desperately want you guys to include these in your next rollout. So that's my advocacy because they were brutal to these people. Where's Nanking? Okay. I'll bet you Nanking is along the coast. I'll bet you Nanking is along the coast.
It was.
Okay. Anyways. Yeah, I know. Okay. Let's keep going. National objective for $9. Okay. Purchase. You are going to purchase an airfield. Wow, you guys are facility purchasers.
Axis Dominion
Airfield.
is the biggest there
Oh, really?
facility. Yeah, he buys twice as many as I do.
I think I almost did a video, but I actually did the video and then never posted it. But it was and it's along my I have two logistics videos where how do you get planes from point A to Moscow or to Calcutta,
Mm.
and I maybe I do have a video where on you no I was gonna call it you want to put that where question mark and it's supposed to be a double entendre. Um, and it was useful places where air bases could go.
Mhm.
Cyprus is one that I, is an excellent place for air bases to go as well as I mean it makes it
Greece,
so that
Greece is a great
Greece
place.
Greece is so good. It obviously a lot of times the Allies can't make Greece. I'm always thinking of Allies. Sorry,
Ah,
so these are
well,
the
the
bad
Allies
guys.
should be Greece.
So the Greece or Cyprus for the Allies getting planes to Moscow. Okay, so you bought an air base. You got armor. You got one fighter, two mech, and then over here, of course, you're going to buy infantry down to two. Your combat. You go to Quichao. Okay, a raid on Quichao in order to produce an infantry? No,
No, it would
thank you.
not in this case.
That would not be the case. So I will wait. And then Alexandria. Oh, he hits Alexandria. Let's hope for some luck. Come on. Yay. Finally. Uh, sorry, Adam. Rooting for the good guys. Um, and then at least the less bad guys, right? And then we have airbase in Gibraltar. Okay, just want to note for posterity's sake that in Alpha
Yeah,
in first edition, there was an airbase there already,
I think there
Oh
was
yeah,
one
they
in
had
Malta as
Malta
well, right?
too.
and in
Yep.
Malta, and in Malta. Scummer, Larry, what are you doing? Listening to those Axis people. uh, okay. Anyways, 30th in the new game, I've tried so many ways to make Imperial Borders. I've tried so many ways to make cavalry to be like this really big deal. And he keeps shooting. Every time I succeed, he's like, "Well, I got to change that rule because they're too powerful that way." Uh, anyways, um, I got a video where on my page where I took Paris, and he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna fix that rule." Okay, so $33 for the. Okay, so you're going down. Um, what is going on? You're going down, man. Um,
There's a sub in 110.
Okay. Three lost to blockade. That's still you're down from the initial 39 and 38.
Cyprus takes away 3.
Oh, it does. It does. Nasty. Okay. And I don't, there's probably three lost to blockade, so you're going to get about nothing. Oh, you still end up with 7. All right, let's take a bird's eye view. Okay, so we are back in 109 with one scrambling fighter, and the subs are out of place to shoot past, I'm assuming, to shoot past the Guardians.
They would always do within
And
range of a destroyer,
oh,
and
right,
they will.
right, because of the
Falter.
harbor. Gotcha. All right, and still a small navy with a little bit bigger navy coming. No aircraft. The aircraft are already there. Yes, the aircraft are already there. Um, I feel like okay. I'm gonna be blunt here. I do feel like the Allies are being retarded in this front. Um, I don't feel like the Germans have much to fear at this point in time from this push by the Allies. Adam, would you agree with that?
Yeah,
This is not
there's two allied transports, so and they just got in range this turn, so there was no threat the previous turn. And then now there's only 4 line units that can drop out anywhere, so it's
sure,
easy
sure.
for Germany to deal with. It's after winning the fleet with the extra air remaining, it's smooth sailing for a bit.
Okay. All right. Um, and then the British over here, I mean, I still think the ground units, I always do ground, I always count guys, so you have to be patient with me. 6, 6, 7, that's 13. 14, 15, 15, 15, and I'm assuming the 18, so that's 33, 20, 22, 24, 26,
There's two fighters in
27.
China. There's two fighters in China.
Okay. Oh, 22, 24, 26, 27. So could you explain the raid on Hunan?
Oh, and
Oh,
Quichao.
Quichao, yeah, yeah.
See if I can remember. Planes probably had nothing to do. They weren't needed in India. Um, if okay, so that blank means he has to move infantry up there if he doesn't want Chinese to pop up. Um, and it would good dice make you look smart and bad dice make you look stupid.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Yeah, winning a battle makes you look like a genius, and the same strategy, and you don't win the battle and makes you look like a heel.
You have to
So
look at
there's
the
20,
average too.
26. Oh, yep,
Yeah,
yes.
so basically the average TUV swing for that battle is basically -1. And then the one Japanese line unit is going to be worth more than what its IPC related value is too. So on the net, it's a positive battle. It just with the dice, it was a negative battle.
Right.
But on average, it's positive.
Okay. What you're talking about? Are we talking about Quichao?
Yep.
Yes, yes. So let's assume that the British are guaranteed to hit with their planes. Then the return fire is only a third chance of hitting. So there's a third chance of losing a plane or 10 IPCs. So a third of 10 is 3.3. So you're down. You're only down 1 IPC on average if you run the on average for the TV swing. If I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's great.
because of the luck factor. Because you're supposed to win that, and he's supposed to lose that. You're
Yeah,
saying that if you ran that battle over and over and over again, you're only
if,
down one TUV, one IPC,
exactly. If you had 100 of these battles, you
100
would
of
be down
these battles.
100 IPCs, but you would also kill 100 for the cost of 33 planes.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
then Adam was saying that the three you don't count an infantry there as three IPCs because the position is so great. He'd have to
Resupply it.
he has to move up another man.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. Well, very good. I think your engineering came in there. Came in helpful there because I was not seeing that.
Well,
So I
Randy,
appreciate that.
I was doing this before my engineering degree, but
Right.
All right, I'm just not as smart as you, man. Your math skills are better than mine, so there you go.
Well, Randy, talking to Axis Dominion a few months ago, I didn't know hardly anything about Adam, and he just said, "Yeah, he's an aerospace engineer." And then Axis Dominion said he's basically a rocket scientist. Then
Right, right, right.
it
Well,
doesn't take a rocket scientist.
I will say that as much as I do look at averages, I do also play an immersive game. Um, it's just my name for that. Do you remember the scene in Miracle, the movie about the U.S. hockey team 1980? And I think it's Kirk Douglas. I think it was Kirk Douglas is talking to the hockey team and says, 9 times out of 10, this Russian team can beat you, but not tonight. And that's how I play the game. I'm like, I'm worried about, I know the averages, but I'm worried about right now because I want to win this game. Anyways, sorry. That's my little soapbox and my excuse. All right. Okay. So let's keep going. Purchase one fighter, two infantry with combats and preparing a airbase for possible scrambling. Um, Battle in Sardinia. Oh man, Sardinia, dudes. Oh man, boy. Like I said, there's a point of if the Allies were doing as well as like, if they owned all of Tunisia and Tobruk and Libya and we were in Sardinia, I would be a little more, and this place was packed with Allied shipping, I'd be like, oh, Sardinia, okay, let's fight over that. But at this point in time, I'm feeling like it's a distraction and an
Oh, no,
added.
no, 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 no.
Okay,
It's protected by the Rome Air Base. Probably had nowhere else to go this turn. So he comes back and yanked that UKNO of +3 for probably a long time.
right, right, I know, but it's adding a burden to the Allies when the Allies are already behind, is what I'm trying to convey. But like I said, this is just my opinion. Um, okay, so we end up with $20. Woo, flying high. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so the can opener here, the
Yep,
one,
very important.
the miracle can opener, the scuzzy, rotten Italian can opener.
Well, 20% isn't a miracle. It
All
was
right,
I
all right,
took
it's
a
lucky.
shot.
You took a shot.
I
All
took a
right,
shot. That one didn't work. Speaking of that though, um
airbase. Look at this flipping airbase. Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous. It's
um mhm.
Victor Davis Hansen talks about how the Germans, when they were attacking their neighbors, they were extremely successful because their neighbors all had paved roads, and it was spokes of a wheel. They went here, and then they went there, and then went here, and it's all central and located. And that's the one thing about Axis now is that retains is that the Germans have this central location that is so deadly in so many different areas. There's a bit of
Mhm.
a, a ridiculous factor to it. That's the advantageous. The map advantage is so severe. It's crazy. Anyways,
And
go ahead.
and how airplanes work in this game also
Yes, yes,
advantages highly the Germans in the central position.
yes. Go ahead, Ted. Sorry about that.
Oh, I was just going to say back on the 95 attack, there was probably another one too, but I was impressed and happy to see that one of our top two players takes shots, takes risks, and doesn't just sit back and be like, well, I'll play him over time. So I like that it's not that Adam doesn't play all conservative and the some of the shots he took just made me happy that he did them.
Sure.
I take the shots that I can afford to lose.
Excellent. So you're saying, and I'm assuming that was in the 90s. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Um,
Um, I mean, I think, well, I don't know, with all those transports, probably not even really a hit and run, but that was a high stakes battle.
Mhm. Yep. Okay, let's go to, I mean, the Italians are holding their ground and doing what they have to do. The shipping still is still alive at round 4, but it's had a lot of supports. Um, so, did you leave this plane here? It's in
Yes,
Greece.
it's in Greece, yes.
So it's not here,
But the
but
Germans can go and put more
ah,
inside.
the Germans can go there before the other ones. Gotcha. Okay, okay. All right. Sorry, I thought for a minute you were human and made a mistake.
No, no, never.
Okay, we got a transport and whoa, another transport and 2 infantry. Uh, 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 and let's see here. 13 bucks and then down here. So let's go and see what Anzac did. And I mean Anzac looks strong enough. Uh not nearly as in danger as it was before. I think I mentioned, guys, that there was 26 units that could attack India, not 30, 31, I think I said before, but yeah, 31. So this is an exact pairing up. So India is safe. Uh, and I mean, you're building a Southern fleet. Anything you want to say about Anzac at this point in time, Ted?
The action is on Asia, with the planes. So let's see, at the beginning of the turn, there were two on the Caucasus, waiting for a chance to deterring any can opener. So if there is a can opener, then the can opener will die, most likely.
Ah, okay, good.
But they were needed in India apparently, and so both fly back to India. There's one in Szechuan, so they must have been needed more in India.
Okay.
I'm
It's
sure they
also
were.
Well, it's
Go
also
ahead.
to allow Russia to get back the +3 and
Oh
for no
yeah,
allied units. So if you don't
yep,
need if you don't need the units there, you might as well take them out to get the +3.
right. That's an incentive. The stack in Szechuan is clearly to prevent airstrike.
Air raid, yeah. Air raid, yeah. Hmm. All right. Hey guys, it's 11:31,
Mhm.
and
For
we need
you,
to
yep.
wrap it up. So if you would like to, there's just some, we're right here in 4. India's in battle, but it is also hanging on. And I think we're in a bit of what I would say is a pinning. Um, maybe the Japanese are not pinned here, but you could consider them pinned. There's a bit of a pinning um, between these two forces, although I think the Japanese probably have a little more of an advantage. There's a pinning to this. Um, so it looks to me like, and there's obviously a pinning here with all of these forces. Um, so it looks like Japan will not, I don't think Japan will ultimately win this game. I don't know that for sure, but I'm just taking a wild guess. I did think the reinforcements here were too light. I'm Ted. I'm just telling you what I
All right.
think. Um, and I understand that you're trying to make some progress, but I'm like I said, there's a naval arms race, and I think he pulled ahead of you in
Mhm.
this round. Um, so yeah, would you say that's accurate, Adam? That
Uh,
he's falling behind in the arms race?
Definitely the Japanese have a bigger fleet and also a bigger incentive to buy fleet at this point in time. Is that the US used their transports and took islands. So with a bigger fleet, Japan can slowly take them back without losing transports while keeping the US at bay. So there's a great incentive here also for Japan to get fleets. And also India is not falling anytime soon. So
Right.
it's time for the slow game.
Right. The slow game. Sure. Sure. And I like pointy things, Ted.
We're at the on Western off California. I have got to get a U.S. carrier back in the European theater.
Mhm.
I've already got the
Right.
planes.
Right. 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 But Russia looks solid. I usually call this kind of actions by the axis adventuring, being adventurous, but I've never dealt with these islands before. Um, uh, well handled defense of Egypt, and you certainly have strength here that is not as vulnerable as, excuse me, as might be if those planes were maybe. I mean, there's such dual use here, but so Adam, you're allowing this him to have this out here, but it's a pretty small navy still.
And there's nowhere that the Germans can position to threaten that anyway. So there's no points
Right,
to putting them.
right. I mean, if you were
Or
buying bombers, for instance, instead of aircraft, obviously that makes quite a difference. And then the fleet
have
kind
to buy a
of
lot of bombers to get through the 3 scramble and a few ships. So it's
gotcha,
not
gotcha.
viable really.
Right, right. Your fighters were needed to help protect this fleet down here, which has been doing a lot of work. Is that correct?
About the fleet doing a lot of work.
No, the purchase of fighters in order for the double scramble out of these two. Is that
Yeah,
did I hear that correctly?
you're what?
Well, no, I was responding to the fact that you suggested buying bombers to
Yes,
run the Gibraltar stack,
yes.
but I would need like 6 or 7 additional bombers to get a good clean hit on that, and that's not viable. You can't even buy that in 1 round as Germany, so
Oh, is
it's
it
not.
bombers 14?
14.
Bombers
Yeah,
Oh,
are
that's right.
14 and the
yeah.
That's right.
You're
That's
doing
right.
really well for all these differences here, Randy.
Okay. All right. Yeah, anything you guys want to say as we close this out? As we're this is going to be a 14 round game, and we're 4 rounds in.
That's twice as much as you usually get done in a couple hours, Randy.
I
So
I did press in. I was trying to
that's
press forward.
cool. I don't think you lost much content either.
Yeah, I try to I know people like the dice rolls, but in a longer format with two of you, three schedules to coordinate, I thought, boy, we'll avoid the dice until we have to.
Well, in my toughest game in years, I kept track of significant dice rolls that were different than average or were really important, and so I don't think we missed any
Good.
so far.
Excellent. Yeah, yeah.
And I've got those going forward, but I stop after round 10 or 11 because at that point they don't matter. All the dice in these first 4 rounds are what determine the course of the game.
Sure.
The only other thing I would say last is around the Egypt area. I don't think you noticed, but I guess this is some dice results that we skip. Iraq and Ethiopia, when the UK attacked Iraq and Ethiopia, they lost a lot of units.
Uh,
And then Italy kind of surrounded Egypt, but in what I thought was honestly one of the very few things that Adam did that I think what should have been done different is with Italy. Those and I got great dice in Alexandria, but the Italian units seemed lost and didn't really accomplish anything.
and Adam,
yeah.
you were uh, the Alexandria force. You left it there, and I'm assuming it was attrition. Is that correct?
Yeah, at that point, there's no more threat to be done on Egypt. He has a factory there. He should be able to always be able to defend it. So I think the odds he took on Alexandria on those units, they would have killed on average more units than later on, a few more turns later, when they inevitably die. So I also wanted to kill Middle Eastern England units So for my later Russian plan, German plan.
Sure. It puts them a little out of position, Alexandria, instead of just marching toward Russia or to the Middle
Oh,
East
yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, excellent. Any other things you want to say about the game so far, Adam?
Sorry, I cut out for a bit. You're asking me what I think about the game so far?
Yes, round four, I think
Yeah.
you're feeling good. I think you're into the long game.
Yeah.
I think you're a little bit more into the economic game than you are into the quick snatch of London or Moscow or Egypt or Calcutta. You're playing the economic game a little bit more, and maybe the increasing weight on the chest that eventually just crushes the person. Is that fair?
Yeah. So a lot of what Ted has done in this game is he's taking a lot of territories that like are worth some money, like for example VNOs, but he's also used up a lot of unit worth or value to do it. So by strengthening Moscow, Egypt, and India, I can't take those quickly. So I'll go for
Excellent. Well, thank you guys
uh,
for participating. Sorry, say that again, Adam. You were cutting that out at the end.
so nothing has gone even close to terribly wrong to for that to. So I'm happy
Yes, yes. Are you at all? Is Java the normal campout spot for this
with
kind of
this for sure.
fleet? Is this pretty normal for you?
Well, here you're on round I think 3. You're
Oh,
not.
I'm sorry. Ah, gotcha. You're right. You're right. Nope,
Uh,
nope, nope. Not the current game. I just screwed the whole thing up, guys. Sorry.
Hide your eyes, hide your eyes.
Okay, hide your eyes. Sorry. Round four. End of round four. There we go.
you can
All
click
right,
on.
there we go. We're back. Okay. Yep, there you go.
No, I mean,
Okay,
if I take Java, I'll be in Java, but after that, I'll be in a naval base, typically.
gotcha. Sure. So this is this pretty normal for you configuration?
Yeah,
Or
typically I
you
do
or
take India, but because typically the allied player either doesn't get the Anzac planes in, or they send 2 planes to Africa to help Egypt.
ah,
Um, and here the Java and losing the troops at Java made it so that India was no longer on the table in the short term.
gotcha. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. This has been great. I hope
It
we can
was
do this
great.
again,
Yep.
and I hope you both enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
You're teaching me a lot about balance mod, and you're also teaching me a lot about this wonderful game we like. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate that. Thank you, Adam, because you actually came up with a lot of these rules. And as someone who's done some play testing, it is not easy,
Yes.
and it's a bit of a process of start and finish. So thank you so much again, guys. I am going to somehow find a way out of this.
Thanks,
All
Randy,
right.
for your interest.
You're welcome. I'm going to stop sharing, and that's probably going to give me the option to end our time tonight. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye bye.
Good night.